This one's kind of, in a way, the point of no return. What I mean is, after this film in the Showa era, Godzilla he was a heroic figure. Even in this one, he's less interested in destroying the cities. He's more interested in just going up against Rodan, and they just have they just are kind of razzling each other. And Mothra tries to convince them they've got to fight King Ghidorah, but they're like, nah. This film's best for its for demonstrating King Ghidorah, one of the greatest contributions in the history of the kaiju format. His sound effect, his roar, is perhaps my favourite sound effect in the history of cinema itself. It's more like the final third of this film that's really good. All the human stuff with the princess possessed by the aliens, that's just... I just don't care for that too much. All the people trying to assassinate her, it's nauseating. Some people consider this one of the best Godzilla films because all the human elements are really good as well. It's not. I don't know what you're trying to convince yourselves of. I think the kaiju stuff in this film is fairly good toward the end. There's not enough of it. I don't know what it is. Godzilla's suit, it looks way worse than it did in the previous two films, and it didn't look great in Godzilla vs. Kong, frankly. And I just think this one's played for laughs and kind of Saturday morning entertainment more than certainly the previous film. And whilst I'm tempted to consider this film one of the best entries in the Godzilla series just for King Ghidorah alone, the other elements don't truly... they don't truly hold this film up to the highest standard, I'm afraid. Don't get me wrong, if there was just 5 films in the Showa era of Godzilla and it was just these ones, it'd be easier to consider this one a major highlight, although considering, Ghidorah's presence again in the following film, Destroy All Monsters, the abundance of his screen time in Godzilla vs. Gigan, and even the human stuff in Godzilla vs. Gigan is kind of goofy and entertaining, and certainly in the Godzilla vs. Megalon, for those goofy car chases in the 70s soundtrack, you can't go too wrong with that. You can go very wrong with it, but whatever. I love Gigan so much, so I just don't care, honestly. There's a scene in Godzilla vs. Ghidorah where the dude's tripping and he sees everyone as fish in a club, right? That's 70s Godzilla is where it's at, man. It's certainly true that the final fight of Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra going up against King Ghidorah did mark a very influential moment in the series' history and possibly remains arguably one of the finest monster fights of the Showa era. To my memory, I think I liked the Godzilla and Rodan up against King Ghidorah in the next one more, although we'll see how it holds up in the near future. We'll see. Do let me know in the comments below if you have any particular thoughts on this one, if you consider it a major highlight of the Showa era or the Godzilla films in general, or rather just a solid entry in the series, or maybe you agree with myself and think that if it weren't for King Ghidorah, the other elements of this film, they're not overly strong. Not like with Mothra vs. Godzilla, which did have a really strong human element. The greedy humans, the reporter who likes to eat eggs. There's lots of memorable aspects of the Mothra vs. Godzilla experience in general, but aren't just the appearance of the kaiju. Whereas, even in Godzilla, even in this one, Ghidorah the three-headed monster, it's more about Ghidorah. Even the Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra stuff isn't outstanding, let's be honest. Even the fairies appearing on talk shows is kind of weird. Why would they do that? I don't know, I guess it's just a solidarity thing. Anyway, thanks again, my friends. Appreciate it quite immensely.